Hi guys, welcome to today's screencast, and today we are planning to discuss about using API controller to manage API artifacts across environments. I'm Chamindu Dakara and I am a software engineer of WSO2 API Manager team. In this screencast, we will be looking into these topics, which includes two demonstrations as well. First of all, let's get to know what the API controller is. WSO2 API Controller is a command line tool for managing API Manager environments, listing API artifacts, creating API projects, importing and exporting API artifacts, and generating tokens for testing purposes. So basically, this is a command line tool for that supports the management of WSO2 API Manager artifacts in multiple environments. This tool is developed to support majorly in three use cases. Those are the ones I have mentioned here. The first one is to deploy API projects without using the WSO2 API Manager Publisher portal via a dev-first approach. WSO2 API Controller allows users to create and deploy APIs without using the WSO2 API Publisher portal. You can use this feature to create an API from the scratch or using an existing Swagger or OpenAPI specification and then deploy it to desired API Manager environment. The second one is to perform CI/CD processes with the WSO2 API Manager. An organization can have multiple environments such as development, testing, QA, staging and production. Each should be its own instance of API managers. Therefore, the APIs need to be available in each environment after developers specify the required conditions. Manually promoting APIs between these environments is a tedious and error-prone and time-consuming task. So this tool plays a key role in this automation pipeline. This process of promoting the API seamlessly in multiple environments can be automated via API tool and with the integration of other CI/CD tools. The third one is support WSO2 API operator use cases. With WSO2 API Manager operator, it makes it easy to deploy WSO2 API Manager in Kubernetes through a simple commands. Also, it supports deploying recommended deployment patterns in Kubernetes, introducing a new custom resource definition called API Manager to efficiently and easily deploy patterns and custom patterns in Kubernetes. API CTL tool will support these use cases. Let's move on to the first demo, which is a simple example of how to deploy an API via dev-first approach. During this demonstration, these are the steps we are going to be following. I have already an up and running API Manager server, and let me start this by adding a new environment using API CTL. Then log into this newly registered development environment. Here we have this user role named internal DevOps who can perform specific API controller tasks. So I have already created this DevOps user with the above role, and let me log into the environment with that internal DevOps role. Then initialize a new API project as screencast with this init command. There are a set of optional flags with this command. Since we are using existing OpenAPI specification, we have to use --OAS flag with init command to initialize an API project with this API definition. When you have successfully initialized an API project, you can see that a directory is created and it looks like this. Inside this directory, there are few automatically created directories as well. Then as for the next steps, we will import this API project with API CTL and deploy it into API Manager environment. For that, we will use import API command with the required flags. As you can see, now the API is deployed in API Manager Publisher portal. It is in the created state at the moment. If you want to publish this API to visible in the dev portal as well, you can simply use the change status command provided by API CTL. Let me show that as well. Now you can see that the lifecycle status of this API is changed as published. Let's move on to the second demonstration. In this second demo, I will perform a simple CI/CD process using two API Manager environments. Let's add another environment as production and let's log into that environment. We have already deployed Saga PetStore API in our development environment. So what we are going to do is we are going to perform a CI/CD process on this API, which results in adding this API to our upper environment, which is the production environment. For that we have to export this API using development environment. The output of this command will show you the path of the directory where that API is exported. Then we are going to import this API into production environment and deploy it in that environment. When we look at this publisher portal of the production environment, we can see that same PetStore API is exported into the new environment. When executing this command provided by API controller, each of these command has its own set of flags which will help you perform different types of tasks related to these use cases, and WSO2 docs provide detailed description about how to use these flags along with these commands. And not only for the APIs, but this API controller tool can be facilitated to perform CI/CD processes with API products and applications as well. There are a set of other features that are facilitated by this tool to manage these API Manager artifacts. With APIs, other than CI/CD process and deploying APIs via dev-first approach, this tool supports listing APIs, update existing APIs, change the lifecycle status of APIs, generate keys for an API for testing purposes, and deleting APIs also. And there are some features to facilitate managing API products as well. Listing API products, perform CI/CD flows using import and export commands, update API products and their dependent APIs, generate keys for an API product, and deleting API products. These set of features can be supported with applications as well, along with the ability to perform migration flows by preserving already generated keys and subscriptions. Other than these features, API controller provides the ability to import SSL certificates for secure HTTP communication with API Manager, and configuration of environment specific parameters such as endpoint configurations, security configurations, and managing endpoint certificates and mutual SSL certificates. That's it for the today's screencast, and I hope you have learned something from this screencast and will join with us to get further knowledge on how to use this API controller provided by WSO2. Thank you.